What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Unsportsmanlike Comics. My name is Jeff Webb, and I'm here with Koffe. Black Coffee, how you doing, man?
What's going on, brother? What's the word?
I'm living. It's a crazy weekend. I went down to
very crazy.
Went down to St. Louis. Went down to St. Louis to. I was unfortunate down there for a funeral. Went down to St. Louis, visited a friend, had some ribs. Like, I was in St. Louis for all of an hour, and it was just for ribs. Like, I drove an extra 200 miles round trip to eat St. Louis spare ribs at this place called Pappy's in St. Louis. It was amazing. Shit was great. Pulled the ribs out. And you know, had a funeral and stuff, which was, you know, obviously, you know, depressing and shit. But man, those ribs, you know, it was worth
the size
going to a
that you
funeral.
got with the ribs? What was the size? Now, did you go dry? Now, St. Louis, they going wet. So
So this place, obviously, you're getting spare ribs, right? They're not serving baby backs like you ordered. They got ribs, period, full stop, and it was St. Louis spare ribs, as is tradition. They had 4 sauces on the table. They came dry. I got fries because I wanted some fries, something to mop out that sauce. And then the second side that I got was deep fried corn on the cob.
I've been seeing that online lately. The deep fried corn on the cob. I've been seeing that on the rise. I saw
it was
you
good.
know, people doing their TikToks, the TikTok chefs. And I saw, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, deep fried corn on the cob.
Yeah, it was fine.
Like, it had a batter on it and everything. It looked decent.
I wish I could have got it like fresh. Like, I'm talking like burnt the shit, 3rd degree burns in my mouth, because then it probably would have been crispy. My thing is, you know, the way the corn is, and this and that, and the batter and shit, and it gets soggy almost immediately. Like, if you want that to be good, it's got to be out immediately. Regardless, sides good. They were fine. The ribs were just... I drove an extra 200 miles round trip, and it was worth it. Like, I would have driven... Oh, my God. I would have driven 300 miles round trip. Absolutely.
How long was
every
the wait?
bite.
How long was the wait?
So we got there late in the day. And you know these barbecue places, like the good ones, they'll say, okay, we open at 10 and we close when we're out. And we got there like an hour before they ran out of shit. And so it was like, we were so pumped. Like, they ran out of a lot of stuff. They didn't have burn ends. They didn't have brisket. Like, they just had ribs.
Oh, yeah, that's the first shit to go.
Oh my God, though. Like I said, excellent. It's so cool driving into St. Louis. That's one of my favorite towns in America. Just
really?
You drive, especially come from where we come. Like, you know, you drive into St. Louis. First thing you see is the Arch. You drive a little past the Arch. You see Busch Stadium where the Cardinals play. And you know me, I love baseball.
No, they downtown is legit. They downtown is legit.
I think it's great. I mean, you know. It's no Chicago, it's no New York, it's no Detroit, but I mean, St. Louis has this, like, you know, northern city in the south kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But man, sports, what you got? What's your first? We're doing something new because Coffee and I don't know how to shut the fuck up.
We were ahead of the curve last week.
We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this time thing though, because we suck. And if we don't put a timer and time some of these segments, we are. No, I know. I'm just saying, generally speaking, if we don't time these segments, we are doing 1 per episode.
That's easy.
It's super easy.
That's easy to happen with us. No, man. First of all, Super Bowl, we got Super Bowl week, right? So we're gonna be plugged in, tapped in all week with you guys. All the stories, all the storylines. Now, to me, I'm just gonna get this out here because we weren't able to due to scheduling conflicts. I feel that if it was Detroit, Baltimore, that was the better grouping of storylines. It was a lot more storylines than San Fran and the Chiefs. Like, this just...
I don't give a shit about San Francisco.
I don't give a fuck about San Francisco.
I don't care about San Francisco at all.
Like, I ain't rock San Francisco, man. Look, it's not...
There's just, I don't know what it is, and it's, for me, it's been that team forever.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit though. I haven't given a shit. Like even back in the day when Singletary was a head coach, it was like, okay, you got who's that tight
Steve
end?
Young, Joe Montana. Man, I just ain't never gave a shit about the 49ers, man.
I mean, like right now they got McCaffrey, they got Brock Purdy.
Oh no, they got a squad. Yeah.
They got a team, but and that's the problem though. It's like McCaffrey is with Carolina, and he's good. He goes there. San Francisco, he's good. QB's doing his thing in San Francisco. The defense is doing their thing in San Francisco. It's not like there's a bad team there. I just don't give a fuck.
No, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. But if I compare the road that they went through to the road that Kansas City went through, Kansas City, to me, well, I guess in a sense they both are battle tested. Although I feel like Green Bay was just, like I heard somebody say, a good team always finds a way to be good. A bad team always finds a way to be bad. Green Bay gave that game away. Right? Now here come Detroit. Yeah. What Detroit did, man, the grit, the grind, they punched them in the mouth. And then it was you could just see the pendulum of momentum swing. And it's like, stop it. This is energy, right? It's esoteric. It's energy. This is momentum. Now you're playing tight. You're not playing to win. It was so much happening that you were watching. Just like, I couldn't imagine being from Detroit and being a Detroit fan watching that game, because the agony I had watching it, just rooting for them. Oh my God, the agony.
Could you imagine just Shady on the sideline? Just, this looks like the time for me to get the fuck out of here.
Let me tell you something. Mom Spaghetti would have been all over my shirt.
They needed that carb load. He needed to bring them some of Mom's spaghetti for the carb load. He was the one that Marshall fucked up.
Dude, that shit was terrible.
Honestly, it was depressed. It was sad as fuck. I remember I was watching that game, and first half, they got it wrapped up, right? It's wrapped up. Yeah. It's over.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's like, hell yeah, Detroit's going to the Super Bowl, baby. And it just, like you said, and it's something that happens to all, it's something that I've noticed, and maybe there's a statistical anomaly that we can look up at some point. These northern teams, and it's not like, I don't know, I just find it like these and I could be wrong, it could just be a conservative play calling thing, but it's like, Belichick's teams never stopped when they were ahead. When Peyton Manning had an offense in his hand, he never stopped when he was ahead. When Brett Favre, fuck Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers, you got all these great quarterbacks, these great offenses.
Yeah.
Do they stop when they're ahead? No, they don't start running the ball up the middle when it's 3rd and 10. No, dude, you are throwing. You're trying to score points.
You needed one play. Right? I'm watching with my brothers, and I'm looking at it, and they're like, I said, it's already turned. You can tell they're getting tight. They need one play. They need somebody to make one play to even it up. Because the stadium's alive. The players now, they believe. Right? Like I told them, it was like, you got one team that believes. Like they still believe. They're in the position of, we can still do this. It's faith of a mustard seed, but we can do this. And the other team, they thought they believed.
Yeah.
It was like, how could you think you believe? Like, what Detroit is experiencing is a thought of belief, and the 49ers are letting them know. Like, they're being hawked down. You're not just being hawked down by the 49ers. You're being hawked down by the history of your team. You're being hawked down by the pressure of the moment, right? You're being hawked down by all those ghosts. You're not even, that second half, the Detroit Lions were not just playing San Francisco. They were playing everything. Right? Ghost.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, I don't want to mess up. That's dangerous, man. But if they won, them in Baltimore, which was just the catastrophe of all catastrophes, it was so, the Harbaugh brothers, one winning the national championship, this one in position to win the Super Bowl. Like, these two cities, these great cities, right, that have rich history, come together. Man, oh, man. And then I ain't gonna lie.
Somebody fucked up the script.
Look, they fucked up. The first of all, it's Black History Month. Detroit is a black-ass city, G.
Are you telling me, Look, you tell me we could have had
people-
Detroit, Baltimore in Black History Month. Are you kidding me?
Man, Roger
This
Goodell
would have
Day
been
want
like
that.
celebrity deathmatch. This poor phrasing is extremely not. It's not cool, but it would be like
Bro,
celebrity deathmatch with MLK
You
and
can't
Malcolm
have
X.
that many
This
pimps
is what
and
we're
drug
talking
dealers.
about.
You can't have that many pimps and drug dealers and crooked politicians in Las Vegas, baby.
Detroit, Baltimore, and Black History Month. This country would have exploded.
In Vegas, yo,
Exploded.
It would have exploded. You know how much seasoning would have been in Vegas? Because we showing up. Ain't
You
even going
land.
to the game.
You land at that airport, the first thing you're smelling is lemon pepper.
Listen, Lawry's, lemon pepper, pink, lustrous pink oil moisturizer. Okay?
I like that you didn't go low shelf for the cocoa butter. You didn't go
Nah,
low tier
hell
for the
no,
cocoa
'cause
butter.
we
You were like,
ain't
nah,
use
that's
that
there.
shit like that, man. Like, we ain't
Nah.
look, man. Now, it was gonna be some shea butter, and
Well,
not the Vaseline kind of come in the
quality.
tub. Hold on, look, I got it right here. Look, right here. Yeah.
Just in case.
I'm down.
Just in
Y'all
case
can't
during
see
your
it.
recording,
Man,
you're
y'all
like,
can't see that African shea butter. That's not Vaseline that y'all buying from Target. This is the real shea butter. You got to go to the hood to get that guy.
I've never seen you ashy in my life.
Man, not with shea butter
Never.
and Vaseline. Not with
I've
petroleum
never seen
jelly
you
and petroleum jelly and shea butter.
You shiny as a motherfucker, but you
Oh,
are never ashy.
now I'm shiny.
Oh shit! No, man.
No,
like
man,
I
but-
was
yeah, but- so,
Detroit
we
though,
got that,
but
and then
for
the
real,
NBA.
like Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit though. One last thing before we move on. I was. This is what I wanted. This is what really pissed me off about the whole thing. It's like Goff, right? This guy, young dude, first round pick,
He had him.
Rams, L.A.
Yep.
Right? And
Yep.
L.A. says you are good. You are not as good as I want you to be. You might be better one day, but there's a dude that doesn't have as long of a career left as you do. We're going to trade you for him, and we're going to trade draft picks, and we're going to win a Super Bowl. And that's going to happen while you're sitting in one of the worst fucking teams historically in the NFL. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
And this guy put it with a fucking chip the size of Montana on his shoulder, took the Detroit Lions off that defense, off David Montgomery. Let's not talk. You got to talk about David Montgomery. David Montgomery, that defense, and Goff rode the Detroit Lions to that game, and like, God, that would have been the story for me, because I don't think that he had anything against Matt Stafford. Right? It's not Matt Stafford's fault that he got traded. None of that's Matt Stafford's fault.
No.
But, like,
That's just
that
business.
would have
That's
been
business
your-
of the game.
That would have been the way for you to knock that chip off your shoulder, and I feel really fucking bad for him. So he's not the last we've seen of him or the Detroit Lions.
Oh no.
I think that they are the new Packers. You know, the Packers have been fucking us sideways for 20 years now. I think they're the new Packers of the division.
Detroit, they've come a long way under this coach too, and that coach has grit.
Everybody loves that dude.
It's also painful, right? Sometimes you need that loss, like you have that ride and then you get knocked down again, like that. You need to feel that agony, right? So that, because I mean, don't get it twisted. If Detroit wins the Super Bowl this year, I mean, good Lord, could you imagine? Like, I'm sorry, I got to take that ride up 80-94
Yeah.
to Detroit. I don't care if we in the outer limits. Could you imagine the eruption and like what that would mean to that city? To that city.
There were
Baltimore has
50,000
one, even for
people.
Baltimore. Like,
There are 50,000
for real.
people that bought tickets to go watch that playoff game in their stadium.
Yeah, right.
Think about
Right.
that. That's
And
just
it
a
was
playoff
slammed.
game.
Right.
That's what I mean.
It would have been great. But sometimes you do need that to be knocked all the way back down to the bottom again. And then it's just, I'm going to maul the shit. Like, because then the fear is gone. Like, we've already been through that. Right? We've been through that. Whether you're up or you're down, we believe. You don't think you believe anymore. We believe we can get the job done. We know what the other side feel like. We coming to get this side. That's it. And in the middle of all that chaos with football, we got NBA players for some reason just deciding. I want to know how many NBA players got drug tested last week.
I could name at least 3 off the top of my head.
Who got drug tested last week in the league? Who got popped for a random drug test? Let's go with it, Jeff. We might have to make this a segment.
Steph got drug tested.
Oh, Steph got drug. Oh yeah. He might have got drug tested twice.
Steph got drug tested twice, because what happened with Steph last week?
You talking what he had that 63? Was it 63, 62 in a loss? Steph had a rough week.
I'm looking at it right
now. Steph had a rough week. He had 60 and they lost.
60,
then they lost to LA. Right?
Yeah, and he had 46. Played the whole game.
Right. Yep. He had. Okay, so he was putting up numbers all week. Come back. What was that? Last night. Another 60. Come on, man.
My thing is,
we used to celebrate.
It's no longer
games, Jeff.
It's no longer the Splash Brothers
60.
there though too. That's another thing. He's doing shit by himself like nowadays. Like,
No.
I mean, Draymond's there and he's punching in heads everywhere he can.
Work.
Honestly, I love Draymond for the record. For the record, I love Draymond. I think everything he does is great.
Look,
like I want that shit to never stop.
I used to hate Draymond. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to hate the shit out of Draymond. I used to hate Draymond. I used to hate Draymond Green. Draymond Green is one of them players. If he's not on your team, you despise him.
Like AJ Pierzynski, baby. I love Draymond. Beat the fuck out of the refs. I don't give a shit. Go into the crowd. You don't like somebody that gave you the eye? Go your ass in the crowd. You can pay for a lawyer. I don't give a shit.
Yo, but yeah, no. I mean, I love Draymond. I love Draymond as a character, right? Like, just and also, I love what he's doing with the new media. He's unapologetic. I love Draymond, but the Warriors made a mistake that I think every dynasty does make. We're going to try to keep the nucleus together as long as possible, right? You're not developing the new players and new roles coming in like with Jordan Poole, right? Like Jordan Poole had all the gifts. Like he's got everything in his bag, but it's the knowledge on one side, like to be the man in those moments, right? To have that education, that basketball intellect in those moments, right? Like it's very different from coming off the bench, being able to be free and giving you 30. Now you see what happened in DC and Washington. He don't even look like the same player.
No.
It's a totally different position. People are like, oh, what's wrong with him? Oh, he's a fraud. No, he's not a fraud. This is a completely different scenario. And I'm not going to blame Steph Curry for that, but there's certain things that, as a franchise, you're developing the next, because Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are still in the league. Like, we're still criticizing LeBron James in year 20 like it's year 10.
Chris Paul is still in the league.
17 years. You got 121, 117. What, Steph is this his 15th or 16th year?
It's got to be up there.
Yeah, so like Chris Paul, these are the last guard, right? Like Jordan was done in 14.
Yeah.
14 years. And they still rocking and rolling. And we own they ass.
Yeah.
Because we've been spoiled. Like, I was having a debate with this 65 game rule, like for like awards that they got now. Like players, you have to play 65 games to be eligible for awards. It also affects your money, right? Because the awards affect your money and all that. And as a fan, I get it from a fan perspective. Yes, you want that because, like, you're paying to go see these stars play, right? But, like, I don't want to see Derek White in the All-Star game. I'm not paying my ticket to go see Derek White. And Derek White is balling. He's a hooper. I wish he was on the Heat. Like, we could use him. Like he's a great player, but that's a side player. We want to see the stars, right? That's what All-Star Weekend is. I want to see the stars, right? Like now they got all these new rules and stipulations where it's nothing about it's all for the team and the league on the business side. Like fans, they get fans riled up, like thinking we're like, yeah, we're with you, yeah. No, it's bullshit, man. Like Embiid clearly is the MVP.
Can we talk about how, like, this is everything that you're talking about? You kind of like traced a line for me to like throw my tin hat on. Right
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I think Adam Silver has done and why I think it's genius. Here's the thing about the NBA that's lovable and that's different from every other sport. NASCAR, like almost every single major sport, you aren't seeing the people. You're seeing the number. You're seeing the team. Tom Brady threw that football. You didn't see his face. You saw his jersey. You saw his number. When you see Steph Curry go up there and score 60 points, when you see Joel Embiid score 70 points, you're watching Steph Curry and Joel Embiid shoot.
Right.
And they're scoring. And that these are these people on that court doing that. And they're not just athletes. They're not just, these people. I mean, look, Steph Curry's done movies. LeBron's done movies. Jordan's done movies. These are stars. And I hate to do it, but I'm sorry. Everything comes back to pro wrestling, baby. Adam Silver is taking that pro wrestling approach and making these people absolute stars. And these people are stars at the top of their game for a couple reasons. One, because they're making that money. They're taking better care of their bodies. They're doing that shit to stay on top because it's hard to get rid of that spotlight. It's hard to get rid of that stardom once you have it. And it's easier for them to stay in the league longer because why? It's something you and I were just talking about, and it was something you were just about to get at. Nobody's playing fucking defense. And we used to talk about it all the time. People aren't catching balls as much as they used to. People aren't catching, people aren't stopping people as much as. It's gone. It's a finesse game now, which is why you can see LeBron play 20 years. You can see Steph Curry play 20 years. Probably 20, 25 years.
You know what? I heard, I got to give credit to Gilbert Arenas when he gave that perspective, and I didn't even look at it that way. He said, when you're an offensive player, right, you spend your whole summer looking at film. Like when you're trying to get better, you're looking at film of a great defender like a Patrick Beverley, right? A Kawhi, or who's a great defender? My man with the shoes. He'll play 35 minutes. He don't score no points, but they got him on. I can't believe this. It's slipping my head right now. But anyway, you're studying defenders, right? You're studying the way their feet move. Okay, if I do this move, they're gonna do this. I can get them off balance if I do this. The way, like, you're studying them, right? And you're creating moves to deal with that. Yeah. So for 20, 30 years, like the younger generation coming up now, that's what they say, these players are more skilled than they were back in the day. Offensively, they've created moves. They've opened up the rule book, and also offensively, they created moves to be able to deal with great defenders. Like, it's some great defenders out there, and they still get 35, 36 dropped on their head, right? Like, oh man, he had a solid time in defense tonight. Yeah, you stopped him from getting 45, 50, but he still put up 38 on you. Like, I did.
And with all sports, the officiating is getting a little bit more protected.
Look, the NFL officiating has been terrible for
ever.
Oh my god. But yeah,
they're letting. I mean, you don't let them play. It means slight contact, you're getting fouls, so people are worried about making contact. And I want to know. I'm looking it up right now about the statistic of people fouling out.
His point was that defenders over that time, there was no improvement defensively, right? Like, the reason why defense looked great back in the day was because they weren't as skilled as they are now back in the, like, they were great defensively for that time, right? The defensive schemes were great for that time, right? And it looked better. But now that the offense has improved, they're still playing the same defense from that time. there's only so much you can do with trying to defend somebody. Like this guy he's got 7 new moves. You still doing the same thing you did last year with maximum effort. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they've taken away, like people were like, oh, well, they took away hand checking. I didn't even, like, I would always use that as an excuse because I remember that NBA until I realized, like, hand checking really only worked when you were in the post.
Right.
Like, if I'm running and gunning and coming at you full speed, you can't hand check me.
And that's the other thing. How often are people in post?
like if I'm on a fast break, where's the hand check coming from?
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, with the schematics of the offense of the NBA has improved, and the defense hasn't been able to keep up with the offense. So we getting a lot of that too. But we used to celebrate 50. Jeff, we used to celebrate 45. Like, I mean, you score 50, you was the man. Like, for that season, you were the man. Like, dude, remember when he put up 50? Hell, you got guys putting up 50 3-4 times a year. Some of them, Steph Curry put up 60 within 10 days.
Within 10 days.
What was it? Tyrese Maxey had 51 the other night?
So, okay, here it is.
Come on, man.
Luka had 73 on January 26th.
Yeah.
Embiid had 70 on January 22nd. Giannis 64 December 13th. Luka again 50 on Christmas Day. Like you look, Giannis is on this list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
Cat out in Minnesota, he had 64. He was up in there with. He was in between that too. He had a 64 piece.
You talk about Towns?
Yep.
Yeah,
Karl
Towns. That was on the 22nd. Yep, that was on the 22nd. It's bananas though. I'm looking at these. This is the top 25 games scoring wise in this season. 73, 70, 64, 62, 62, 60, 54, 52, 51, 51, 51, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 49, 49, 48. All of them above 45 points. So you tell me we have this season alone this many, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna repeat some of these names of these 25 games. Giannis, Luka, let's Embiid, Lillard, Curry's on there twice. There's a very clear subset of players right now in the NBA that are just, I don't even know the right descriptive term right now, but these players are playing out of their mind right now, and I don't think that anybody knows how to stop Embiid or Luka. I mean, Embiid just stopped himself for the time being.
You're not going to stop great players like that, right?
And that's the thing. It's great. It's not like we're talking generational shit that's happening right now.
But you can make them work a little bit harder, right?
Yeah. Shouldn't be 70, it should be maybe 60. Shouldn't be 60, it should be 50.
Like, I'm not gonna let you beat me tonight. Like, I remember playing ball, and I remember coming up, and I remember watching, like, guys like, yo, that some bitch over there is gonna have a good game tonight, because I'm not gonna let you beat us tonight. Like, we locking you up. You gonna have a long day. Your homeboy is gonna have to win this one. Dude, if you average 26% from the 3-point line, guess what? You're going to have to be on point tonight, because we ain't letting you get off tonight.
No.
I'm using all 6 fouls. I'm grabbing you. I'm going to make your hip hurt. like we putting you through the ringer. You're not getting off.
There's another really fun thing that I learned today, NBA-wise, that I was pretty excited about. Did you ever watch that show, Winning Time?
Oh yeah. With Showtime Lakers, Magic them filed that injunction. They was hot about that.
Dude, same crew, making a show about the Kobe and Shaq years.
No. What?
Yeah.
That came out today?
I just read it this morning before I got up on here with you. They are doing a full-on Kobe Shaq show, Winning Time style. That's going to be heated. That's going to be real heated.
Hey, man. I love that. See, somebody, why do you love sports? I love sports for the totality of it, not just for the field, the court,
for the stories.
The stories behind. I don't even want to say it's like a gender thing, like it's the man's soap opera, because men acted on soap operas. So I knew guys that watch soap operas and love soap operas because it's entertainment. But like the stories, like in the background, oh man, I mean that's why we have the entertainment we have now, because people are the griot, right? The stories. We want the story. What did we not know what was happening in the background, right?
If Aries Spears isn't playing Shaq, Aries Spears needs to be playing Shaq. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, man, they gonna have to CGI Aries Spears though.
Dude, Kobe. Do that fucking eye thing, just Kobe. Like it's gonna be great. I don't know whatever it is. They're focusing on, because what I specifically read was they're focusing on the rivalry between, that inner team.
Them two.
That shit. Them two.
The internal conflict. They're going from the internal conflict.
So you can have that. You can have the Zen Master. Somebody's gonna have to play the Zen Master. You had Adrian Brody playing Pat Riley. Who the fuck are you gonna get to play Phil Jackson? He did an amazing job. It was that show. Like the second season was extremely disappointing, but that first season.
He did his thing. God. He did his thing.
I watched that first
Pat
season
Riley
6 times. 6 fucking times.
I was in all that Pat Riley smoked. I know that's a small detail that was tripped out, but I was in all that he smoked.
And that those Versace suits, everything. Come on, dude. Like, it's gonna be good. I'm pretty excited about that.
I thought they. I mean, hands down, I thought everybody did a good job. That first season was great to me as far as entertainment. Now I'm sure. Now, like you said, the Lakers, Jeannie Buss, Magic, those guys, they were upset about it. They had their own thing going on. They would, you know how that stuff gets touchy, right? But as a fan, just being entertained, it was entertaining to me.
I love every second of it. Even if they
love the look of it too.
Paint the right picture. Well, yeah, they used like the cameras from that era. They made it realistic.
Yeah,
and shit.
They gave it that filter, that look. I thought that was different. Thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Right? I thought that was completely awesome.
You didn't hear the complaints from people like Jeannie Buss and Magic the second season, because I found out the second season, which is coincidentally when it started to get worse, was when Jeannie Buss and the Lakers started getting involved with the show. And like Jay Moore was in the second season, the comic, and Jay Moore is married to Jeannie Buss. So there was obviously, they started making everybody look a little bit better than they could have in the second season.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. You're getting involved now, and now it's a puff piece. And look what happened; it got canceled.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna tell, sometimes too, it's like you got creative expression, and then you don't want to embarrass families or stir up, drama.
Because there's also dead people involved, yeah.
Right. So you want to make sure you're doing right, but then it's also that balance of doing right and then giving it raw, right? Because could you imagine you a legend and you kicking it with like your wife, and you're being depicted, and she's looking at the year,
and he'd be like, "Oh man, they took creative license. It was creative license.
Creative license, like so you weren't snorting cocaine off those butt cheeks."
No, man, look at those shoes. Man, look at those shoes. I would have never wore those shoes in real life. I would have never snorted that coke either, I swear. Come on, man.
No, what is you talking about? Like, what you mean? Like, and then your kids looking at you crazy and say, like, man, how they say it's based on a true story. Like, some people just run with it. You know what I mean? Like,
man.
Magic.
It was good.
Magic was going to work, baby.
Yeah, no, he worked till the wheels fell off.
I knew Magic went to work, but the way they depicted Magic going to work, I was like, damn, like, and I mean, we know, right? Like, the industry is a different level, right? Hollywood, entertainment, it's a different world. That's what I tell people all the time.
L.A., Los Angeles.
LA, baby, it's a different world, right? Like, when you're a star, when you got access to money, you got access to that lifestyle, things change, right? Like, you gonna experience things, okay? And it's accepted out there. And because we're over here looking at it, it's like, like, first of all, either you jealous because you can't do it, because we try to do it, right? When we go to the club, like, we want VIP. We ain't important. You work the B shift, you work B crew at Ford or the A turn at the mill. Ain't nothing important about you. You work overtime, right, to get the VIP, so you could be very important for this night. Don't nobody know you.
No.
One of them everybody walk through the door that night and it's over. You ain't getting no chicks, right? You ain't getting no work, you ain't getting no action. Your girl gonna be in VIP looking at this motherfucker.
You are envious of every single second of it up until the HIV.
Up now. Well,
yeah, right there. You were like, man, I want it. I don't think I want it. I'm gonna take that second shift. I'm gonna take that second shift down at Ford, I think.
I'm gonna take that second shift because I don't know if I got the.
Is my HMO gonna cover these bills?
Look, man, I had a problem with Blue Cross Blue Shield, man, trying to get my back surgery, baby. So I know they ain't covering HIV.
I'm sorry, you got this disease because too much. What now? Too much.
Yeah, that's hard to explain.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to cover this. All right.
So you had something with what's going on? I saw a story with that you are our insider as far as wrestling is concerned, right? Like, I used to be heavy into wrestling. Now you want to go back to old storylines from the late '80s, early '90s, middle '90s. What do they call it? All the way into the Attitude Era. I'm your guy. But you are a registered insider for wrestling. It was a big to do this week. The Rock and
Cody Rhodes, baby.
Cody Rhodes and
Roman Reigns.
My man, Roman Reigns. I just saw Roman Reigns and The Rock staring very intensely at each other, and people was complaining about Cody Reigns. I'm like, well, where the hell is he at? Like,
so this is what's happening right
on?
now. It's hilarious. We all know what's happening with Vince McMahon. It's just getting worse. I don't feel like talking about that. We've had a good time today. But like, if you want to know, if you don't know what's happening with Vince McMahon, A, you're not paying attention.
We gonna do 45 minutes on it. We gonna do a show just to that situation. It deserves
Vince McMahon scandal. It does.
That shit's
We gotta break down the whole. I want to break down the deposition. I want to break down it all, but I also want to wait a little bit because he's currently being investigated by the FBI for these claims now. So they raided his house. They took his phone. They're coming hard for him. This is no longer a civil issue. It is officially an FBI legal matter for him. So shit's hot now. Shit's really hot for the WWE. It's not like nobody's. This guy he's got his handprints on everything. He is the wrestling industry for all intents and purposes, and has been for quite some time. So there's a very big to-do. The WWE is now a part of TKO Holdings, which is the parent company of both now the WWE and UFC. So it's a big deal. There's a lot of money in this shit, man. Vince was a member of their board. He's no longer a member of their board, but
they got rid of him.
So with all that out the side, mention that just to move on past that.
Yeah.
The mentality was, okay, we need some good press, right? We need something good to happen. Koffe, when you think about wrestling, what is the name of one person that always makes everyone feel good all the time?
The Rock, baby.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Everybody loves, and that's the thing, man. I got a good friend Adam. We watch wrestling, watch AEW, the other company, every week, and man, it doesn't matter that he's with WWE. It does not matter what company he's with. The Rock is above wrestling. The Rock is above sports. The Rock is above acting. He is an international, multifaceted star.
He's got his own mark. He's got his own mark.
He's above all of it, right? And so the mentality was, okay, we gotta bring The Rock in just so we can kind of squash all this shit. Now, on the other side, on the like in the actual wrestling arena, okay, give you a little backstory on this. Cody Rhodes is the son of Dusty Rhodes, big time legend. So he was with WWE. He got screwed around for a long time. They treated him like shit. They didn't book him well. They put stupid gimmicks with him. They made him wear face paint. It was bad. And he left,
I remember the early years. It was rough.
Yeah. He left. He went and he worked on the independents. He worked at all these independent wrestling companies, and he did his own shtick. And, you know, he was the American Nightmare, where his dad was the American Dream. And he's Cody Rhodes. Like, he's doing his thing. And then he ends up starting AEW, the company that I love. And, like, he and a couple other dudes, and Tony Khan, who's part of the ownership of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they make this AEW. It's amazing. It's this alternative. He himself constantly talks about how, oh, man, this place is better, and like it's you know, grass isn't greener, and just how you don't just how it's just so much better, and basically they've created this utopia.
They trying to take down the Titan, right? Like the WWE.
Exactly.
Titan.
They're literally, their headquarters is called Titan Towers. So like, you got this dude.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Isn't that hilarious? So you got this dude that's like the face of the anti-WWE movement. He helped create AEW, leaves AEW, so that he can go get his bag with WWE because they and you know what? He's never had the big belt. His dad had the big belt. There's a lot of history with his dad. He wants to finish that story, right? So he goes back to WWE to finish that story. And he wins the Royal Rumble. And he goes to WrestleMania. And he loses to Roman Reigns. And me, personally, I thought it was fucking hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. It was like, you left this company that you started, and you're going back, and you're like, I'm so happy to be home, and it's so great. And then you get bitched out. And he has some good matches, and he gets injured, and whatever, woo woo woo. Fast forward, Royal Rumble again. Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble again. He goes, he's like, hell yeah, we're doing it. We're finishing the story. Because, right, think about the story, right? He comes to the company, wins the Royal Rumble, loses WrestleMania. That's fine. We're doing David and Goliath, right? This long-term storytelling. This guy had to lose the first match. Had to lose the first match so that he could go through the trials and tribulations, make his way back up the mountain, okay? We're at, like, here's the peak, and we're here. And he's like, hell yeah, I'm about to do it. He gets in the ring with Roman Reigns. And basically, he says, all right, I want that belt. I want that belt real bad. But you know what? Fuck me. I think The Rock deserves it more. Here you go, Rocky. You can have it. And then just walks away. That's what happened. And I'm not kidding.
It was so weird.
He walked away. He won the Royal Rumble. The story's ready to be told. It's over. We're done. We're done now. And he says, Rock, just take my match. Why don't you take my match? You know what? This is probably better for everybody, including me. I want to see you wrestle. I don't fuck me. I don't matter. I'm just a bitch. I'm an absolute bitch. That's what he looks like now. He left his company that he started, and he got bitched out last year. Oh no, we're doing long. And then he gets bitched out by The Rock this year.
You know what it is though? This is all behind the scenes. We need to save the company. We got to bring in
Black History Month. That's what it is.
Well, hey, you know what? And what a time. Hey, you know what?
He's like, he's Samoan. He's Samoan.
Hey, he got, look, we taking credit for him. We gonna take credit for him. We gonna take.
Yeah, he's first round pick in the racial draft.
Yeah, we take.
Picking the racial draft.
We taking The Rock now. Hey, hold on, wait a minute now. Hey, listen, look, we gave y'all Tim Scott, okay, and Candace Owens. All right, y'all can have them.
Take them back.
Okay?
Take them back.
No, we gave y'all them all day. Gave away Herschel Walker too. We gave y'all 3-piece, and we'll give y'all them and 3 draft picks. Okay,
you know what? You can take the 3 of them.
King's ransom.
Take Omarosa too. You take Omarosa back. I don't want that.
No, we ain't gonna take Omarosa. First of all, just like that classic CNN scene with Don Lemon and Baby Girl and Scott, and she said, we gotta talk about Omarosa during the first week of Black History. Come on, Jeff, we ain't doing it. We not invoking her name. We not invoking her name. She that shall remain nameless Matter of fact,
Oh my
we ain't
God.
talking about none of them. We ain't talking
How
about
did
none of them.
the conservative four in the black community became Voldemort? That's just what happened here. I don't know how. Herschel Walker is the Voldemort of the NFL now.
Man,
that's just what it is.
No, man. Look, man, and I don't have a problem with Herschel, besides the fact that Herschel is full of shit. And he's a plant. Okay, now we can listen. And people gonna come out here, they be like, oh, you're the far left, far right, libertarian. Man, listen, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All of them is crazy to me, right? Both
They're all
sides.
richer than I am. That's all I know.
Right, and they all got shit going on that I ain't got going on, and they all full of shit. But look, man, come on, man. Jeff, all right. Those of you guys don't know, we are comics, all right? Unsportsmanlike
That's part
comics.
of the name, baby. Yeah.
Okay, part of the name. But Jeff had his things, right, when he's producing the show, right? And if you on stage or when Jeff is at a show, if there is disappointment, right? It don't matter if you're a black comic, white comic, gay, straight, there's a face. Like Jeff has this white man face of disappointment.
Something like what the Detroit Lions coach had last week, right? It was something. Is that Mike Campbell?
It pierces your soul. Right? Like if you see this man looking at you, oh my God.
I can't help it, okay? It's not something that I can help. I just make it. We all know the situations that we're in.
Man, listen. Jeff, every time I see one of them sons of bitches in a clip or on TV, I do your face. I do that exact face. I think I have a picture of that face.
Do it right now.
What, find a...
No,
try to mimic the face?
Yeah, do the face.
Oh no, let me see if I get it.
I mean, we're having a good time. You gotta be slightly disappointed. I just took I didn't do it on camera, but I took a bong rip off camera, so you could be disappointed about that.
Yeah, because we still trying to, it's cool though. We gonna see if we can get those rips clear.
I don't even know what it is. Just
the face of this, but because I'm angled down, it's not gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna do it on the next one. The next one with my new setup. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with the new setup. But yeah, hey, fam, man, we might have to get that face edited in. Like if I say something stupid, like when I
just throw that face up. We just clear the screen.
And then like
just
on
my
the
face.
replay, when we fuse it in, just.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea. So we're gonna do that for next time. We're winding this shit down. We talked about this stuff, man.
Okay,
so you got anything else? What you got before we? Oh God! So that's the other thing that's weird for me is it's like I don't actually watch WWE anymore. So it's like I kind of just see the crazy shit that happens and then I dive in and read about it and look at it. But WrestleMania, if I remember, it's gonna be in April.
It's April right after the
They got a lot of injuries, man. CM Punk's out. Looks like Seth Rollins is going to be out. Obviously Brock Lesnar's not going to be wrestling. He's involved with all that lawsuits and stuff, so he's not going to be involved. So we're going to see what happens with them.
Would you say WrestleMania is like? Would you put that up there as like in the top like 10 sporting events? Or top 5 sporting events in the world. Like you got the Super Bowl, the World Series, NHL championship, World Championship, Wimbledon. Like where does WrestleMania rank in like the mega sports events? Would you say is this? I know at one point WrestleMania was damn near like top 5.
So
I don't know if it's held that rank. Right.
It's if you look at it from a couple different levels, right? And like for those of you that are like, oh, wrestling's not a sport. Well, fuck you. You're okay with gymnastics, floor routines being sport. You could be okay with 2 guys doing this shit. It's violent, choreographed theater. Right. It's an athletic thing that requires a lot of skill. But like,
for sure.
To get past that, like they are only like since WrestleMania 21, which was like 18 years ago, they have only played in football stadiums. So like I'm talking. Places like Ford Field, places like I think they're doing one in Vegas. They did the Meadowlands. They did Levi's stadiums.
Oh,
they're only doing football stadiums and they're doing WrestleManias anymore. First off, so I think knock that down. Nowadays, it's a 2-day event, so it's Saturday and Sunday. They got two over 4-hour events. And not only that, I think, you consider something like baseball. Baseball's obviously got a more international appeal, but like something like football or NASCAR, to a lesser extent, something like the NHL. These things are mainly regional. It's like, there's a lot of like hockey, obviously, in Europe and shit like that. But I mean, like, we're talking like the NHL and stuff like that. Canada, America. We're talking MLB, Canada, America. We're talking NFL, America. People come from all over the world to see WrestleMania. I'm talking like
WrestleMania, right?
All over the world.
Globally, it's still top 5, right? Like, it's
I'm willing
still
to bet that of the 70, 80,000 people that come to WrestleMania every year, 2 nights in a row, I'm willing to bet that 20 to 30,000 of those people are from out of the country.
All right, you know what we got to do, right? March Madness. For March Madness, we got to get
too.
the 16. We gonna do our own personal brackets, right? Yeah. Post them up, and then everybody always does this. It's kind of cheesy, but I don't care. We want our piece of cheese too, goddammit. Shit, we knew Unsportsmanlike Comics was coming, but we got to do like a top 16 or like Elite 8 bracket and get the fans to vote, right?
Yeah.
On which sporting events, the top 16 for who is the king of sporting events, like, right? Like, you got Wimbledon, you got the U.S. Open, right? You got
to put a list of like the top events, get them together, and have people rank them.
And have people rank them and have them go against each other. We got to do that.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, God damn, WrestleMania is still. I remember being a kid wondering. It's like, I know it's a thing, but is it still? Does it have the lore that it once had? You know what I mean?
It's bigger than it's ever been. It's bigger than it's ever been.
Would you go?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even a fan, and I'm not even a fan to the point to where like there are certain wrestling fans that may see this and hate me going forward.
Oh, they gonna hate the hell out of you because you paused. You did pause. Matter of fact,
yeah, like I do not like the WWE. I fucking hate the WWE. I don't watch it. I think that it's for children. I think that there's not enough wrestling. I think they got shitty production quality. Every time somebody takes a bump, they shake the camera. I think that it's just not for me. It's not for me. It's for children, okay? I stopped watching wrestling because, back in the day, man, Attitude Era shit, man, when you were in high school, like when you were you're like just a couple years old.
Man,
like when you were in high school, fuck you, dude. That shit was everywhere.
Boy, I was doing my homework.
Mm-hmm.
Man, shit.
That's
Monday
what I'm saying.
night,
Nowadays,
it was hard to study on a Monday night when WWF Raw was coming on.
So I don't watch the WWE anymore. However, if somebody was like, come on, man, let's go to Mania, I would absolutely go to WrestleMania. It's like if somebody says, hey, I know it's going to be a shitty Super Bowl because fucking San Francisco and who the fuck, Kansas City's going to be in it. But you know what? Let's go. I'd be like, all right, even though this is going to be a fucking terrible Super Bowl, yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah. I'm going. I ain't even host.
No, yeah, absolutely. No.
I got to roll.
100%.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I plus I always wanted to do that. I don't want to say it because somebody's gonna do it. Well, there is a documentary, maybe like a short documentary, but it was something that I wanted to do, like with. We'll talk about it off air.
Heard. But man, I think that's a wrap.
Then I'm gonna
today.
get out here and I'm gonna sue somebody, and then I'm bring you in the middle of it, and I'll be like, hey, look, man.
Yeah. You got anything before we get out of here?
It's gonna be a good week. This is Grammys week. Lake Show is on the road. We got Super Bowl this week. All-Star game coming up shortly thereafter. NBA trade deadline is this week. Thursday, 8 p.m. trade deadline close, so it's gonna be heavy action. Pay attention to your Bleach Report and all that. Tune in with us. We gonna keep you updated.
I was gonna say, if you got time, we should do a live if you got time on Thursday. At the very least, we should do a late night episode just to check out, recap all the action.
Let's do that. Oh yeah, we can do that.
Thursday's
we can
episode is going to be a total NBA free trade deadline recap. That's Thursday's episode.
Thursday episode. Yep, and we gonna have maybe do a little bit of treats or something, get our followers up. You know, I'm gonna see how long Jeff can do a live bong rip.
I'll stretch the lungs out right now. I'll stretch, like, as soon as we get off recording, I'll stretch these lungs out right now.
You know, I might pull out some treats. I got some treats, you know, from my latest trip.
The Great White North, baby.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah,
Tim Allen was not lying.
Oh man, pure Michigan.
Pure Michigan. Them pure Michigan commercials. Tim Allen was not lying. Michigan, aight. Michigan is aight.
Yeah, weed wasn't the drug Tim Allen was talking about, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no.
He was for that pure Michigan snow, though. He was for that pure Michigan snow. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing
well, that's
wrong
been
with
Unsportsmanlike Comics, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, we see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace out.
Yeah. All right, have a good one. Later.